Hey guys, Django Fett here, hunting down games, comics, TV shows, movies, and more, and this is a review for The Northman. So this has been one of my most anticipated movies of this year, and it's directed by Robert Eggers. You guys know he's done great movies such as The Witch and The Lighthouse. And I think Robert Eggers really has a knack for these indie type of films. And this one is no stranger to that. So this one is not your prototypical action movie that you would expect. This is a rated R violent movie. Don't get me wrong. This has some great action when shown about a prince of a Viking kingdom whose father gets betrayed, and he has to fight. He has to pretty much be exiled and wants to come back to this kingdom to have his revenge, pretty much. But this is not your prototypical revenge story. I'm just going to say that. There is much more to this. And it really works. Everything about this movie really works, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, this one did not really disappoint at all. I think the thing that people will hold it against this movie is that it doesn't have enough action and stuff like that, and I think a lot of people are not going to understand it just because of the mysticism and the spiritual component of it as well, because there's a lot of mysticism and religious things associated with like Viking culture and stuff like that people are not going to know at all, including myself. I knew about the Valkyries though, but it's just like people are probably gonna go over people's heads when it comes to that. But I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of things associated with this film that is not just prototypical revenge story. It's a slow and methodical film, and it just really freaking works. And there's plenty of action, and it's set in Iceland, and just the cinematography is just fantastic. The places that they filmed in Iceland, it just looks absolutely fantastic, and the action itself is just so freaking brutal, especially in the beginning. I think after like 15 minutes is when the action happens, like the really brutal Viking action that you would probably see in the trailer or something like that. And it's something else. It's crazy and really intense. It's not like non-stop action, so I do think that's going to be a complaint going against it. And I've already seen like reviews, not so much reviews, but like Rotten Tomatoes scores and audience scores. And I've also noticed a pattern when it comes to Robert Eggers films is that audiences don't really like his types of films. They don't like the indie type of films. I really enjoy them, but the critics love them, and I love this film too. I think it's great. It's got great action. Of course, the casting, of course, I have to mention as well. But you also have all the Skarsgårds, Alexander Skarsgård. Pretty much all of them are in there, including their father as well. And you also have Anya Taylor-Joy. You have a lot of Icelandic actors and actresses involved. Bjork, like she's like a musician, and you even had I had to look this guy up. Is Hafþór Julius Bjornsson. He was actually the Mountain in Game of Thrones, which I thought was pretty cool. And it's just nice to see it's not just American or British actors and actresses. It actually involves Icelandic people too, so there's representation when it comes to that. So that is awesome. I got to give him credit for that. So the acting is just really good, and it definitely takes its twists and turns for sure, especially towards the end. But it is really good at a Viking film. If you love Vikings, you're going to be in Viking heaven for sure, Valhalla for sure. But it's I don't know what more to say. I really enjoyed this film, and I think he does it again. Robert Eggers does it again with these indie films, and he does it again with this film. So a third movie he's done that he's just done a great job with. So without a doubt, The Northman gets a... Unfortunately, I don't see this movie doing very good in the box office at all. Initially, it made, I think it was like $23 million at the opening box office. That's international, by the way. That's not domestic. So that's not a good sign. And the budget is $90 million. That's insane for an indie film. Indie films are not known to cost that much much money. You could honestly say this isn't really an indie film, but I know Robert Eggers has like this indie background with him, so I do think this is an indie film. But I don't think this movie is gonna make that much. I just don't even think it's probably gonna make half its budget, honestly, at this rate. Just because I don't think there was really any marketing for this movie at all. There was like 1 or 2 trailers. That's it. There was like really nothing shown, and I just don't think not many people know about this film or are going to be talking about this film. And looking at the Rotten Tomatoes scores with the audiences, they just don't like this film in comparison to the critics. Critics love this film, and rightfully so. I agree with the critics. There's just sometimes just some weird things going on with. Sometimes critics are right, sometimes audiences are right, and there's never like. There's sometimes a middle ground, but most of the time it's just so diverging opinions, when it comes to that. And I mostly trust the critics when it comes to movies nowadays, because it's like, audiences are kind of stupid. Let's just face it, they are. They'll eat up Doctor Strange or Marvel movies, but when it comes to a smart indie film like this, no, they can't deal with it. Like all the mysticism and stuff like that, it just goes over their head. But it is also a little too long, maybe like close to 2.5 hours. But I do think it's worth it. It is a great Viking film. You're going to be in Viking Valhalla for sure. So I do recommend you guys go out and see this. Go out and support this film, because we need Robert Eggers to go out and do some more films, because he is just shown he is just a cut above like whatever Hollywood is doing. He's like he's close to the level of Denis Villeneuve, honestly. He's that fucking good. And Denis Villeneuve is like, for me, he's like #1 right now. Like he is just killing it. I'm sure there's other ones I'm probably forgetting, but I do think he's like one of the best at this point. So that was my review for The Northman. Don't forget to please like this video, comment down below, tell me what you think of The Northman in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Django Fett, if you haven't already, and I'll see you, my fellow Mandarin. Next time. Ooh, yeah.